In a mud hut far from town lived an old grass cutter named Keshav. Every morning, Keshav cut and bundled tall wild grass. Every afternoon, he sold it as fodder in the marketplace. Each day, he earned 30 paise. 10 of the small coins went for food. 10 went for clothes and other needs. And 10 he saved in a clay pot under his bed. In this manner, Keshav lived happily for many years. One evening, Keshav dragged out the pot to see how much money it held. He was amazed to find that his coins had filled it to the brim.
What am I to do with all this money? I need nothing more than I have.
Keshav thought and thought. At last, he had an idea. The next day, Keshav loaded the money into a sack and carried it to a jeweler in the marketplace.
My friend gave me a gold bracelet for this money. I have a lovely one for you, Keshav.
He exchanged all his coins for a lovely gold bracelet. Then, Keshav visited the home of a traveling merchant.
Welcome, Keshav. How are you? I'm fine. I want a job done through you. Tell me, in the whole world, who is the noblest lady? Without doubt, it is the young queen of Kapila. I often visit her palace. Do me a favor. The next time you pass that way, give her this little bracelet with my compliments.
The merchant was astonished, but he agreed to do what the ragged grass cutter asked.
What's wrong with you? Nothing specific. I felt like giving it to someone.
Soon after, the merchant found himself at the palace of the queen of Kapila. He presented the bracelet to her as a gift from Keshav.
How lovely! Your friend must accept a gift in return. My servants will load an elephant with the finest silks.
When the merchant arrived back home, he brought the silks to the hut of Keshav.
Oh no! What am I to do with such finery? Perhaps you could give it to someone else.
Keshav thought for a moment.
Tell me, in the entire world, who is the noblest man? That is simple. It is the young king of Nadia kingdom. I often visit his palace too. Then do me another favor. On your next trip there, give him these silks with my compliments. Keshav, are you mad? Please do this help.
The merchant was amused, but he agreed. On his next journey, he presented the silks to the king of Nadia kingdom.
A splendid gift in return. Your friend must have 12 of my finest horses. Thank you, Your Majesty.
So, the merchant brought the king's horses to Keshav.
Hey, what is this? This grows worse and worse. What could I do with 12 horses? Hey, what is this? This grows worse and worse. What could I do with 12 horses? I know who should have such a gift. Keep 2 horses for yourself and take the rest to the Queen of Kapila. Thank you, Keshav. I cannot fathom your mind.
The merchant thought this was very funny, but he consented. On his next visit to the queen's palace, he gave her the horses. Now the queen was perplexed. She called her minister.
Your Highness, I was informed that you wanted to speak to me.
Why does this Keshav persist in sending gifts? I have never even heard of him.
Your Highness, why don't you discourage him? Send him a gift so rich that he can never hope to match it.
So, in return for the 10 horses from Keshav, the queen sent back 20 donkeys loaded with silver.
Thank you, Your Highness.
When the merchant and donkeys arrived back at the hut, Keshav groaned.
What have I done to deserve this? Keep 2 donkeys and their silver for yourself and take the rest to the king of Nadia kingdom.
The merchant was getting uneasy, but he could not refuse such a generous offer. He presented the silver-laden donkeys to the king of Nadia. The king too was perplexed and sought the advice of his minister.
Your Majesty, I am at your service. Perhaps this Keshav seeks to prove himself further and further. Why not send him a gift he can never surpass? You are right.
So the king sent back 20 elephants with golden anklets, 20 horses with golden bridles and stirrups. Keshav was surprised to see all these.
Friend, please do not stop for a minute. Keep for yourself 2 of each animal and take the rest to the Queen of Kapila. Enough of all this, Keshav. How can I go to her again? Please, merchant, who else can do this favor? All right, this is the last time.
This time, the queen was stunned by the magnificence of Keshav's gift. She turned again to her minister.
Clearly, this man wishes to marry you. Since his gifts are so fine, perhaps you should meet him.
Merchant, take me to your friend.
The merchant began to shiver in fear.
Worthy Queen, do you really want to meet him?
Of course, why not?
The queen ordered a great caravan made ready with countless horses and elephants. With the trembling merchant as guide, she and her court set out to visit the great Keshav. On the 3rd day, the caravan made camp and the queen sent the merchant ahead to tell Keshav of her coming. When Keshav heard the merchant's news, his head sank to his hands.
Oh no! Now I am being paid for all my foolishness. I have brought shame on myself, on you and on the queen. What are we to do? I fear we can do nothing.
The next morning, Keshav rose before dawn.
Goodbye, old hut. I will never see you again.
grass cutter started down the road, but he had not gone far when he heard a voice.
Where are you going, Keshav?
He turned and saw two radiant ladies. They were fairies.
I am a stupid old man. Let me go my way. I cannot face my shame.
Though you are dressed in old clothes, you have the heart of a king.
The fairy touched him on the shoulder. To his amazement, his rags turned into fine clothes. A jeweled turban sat on his head.
Return, Keshav.
Keshav looked behind him. Where his hut had stood, a splendid palace sparkled in the rising sun. Astonished, he turned to the fairies, but they had vanished. Keshav hurried back along the road. As he entered the palace, the guards gave a salute. Servants bowed to him, rushing as they were here and there, preparing for the visitors. Keshav wandered through countless rooms, gaping at the riches beyond his imagination. Suddenly, 3 servants came running.
A caravan from the east. No caravans from both east and west.
The bewildered Keshav rushed outside to see 2 caravans halt before the palace. From the east came the queen of Kapila, and from the west came the king of Nadia. Keshav hurried to the queen.
My dear Keshav, we meet at last. Thanks for the wonderful gifts.
Thank you, Your Highness. I was asked to send these gifts by a great king. Please excuse me for a moment.
He rushed to the king.
My dear Keshav, I came to meet the giver of such fine gifts. So it's you. Your Majesty, I have sent all those as I was asked by the Queen to give them to you. The Queen. Who is this splendid Queen? The Queen of Kapila, Your Majesty. Please come and meet her.
And so, the king of Nadia met the queen of Kapila, and the two fell instantly in love. A few days later, their marriage took place in the place of Keshav. At last, Keshav said goodbye to all his guests. The very next morning, he rose before dawn, crept quietly from the palace, and started down the road. But he had not gone far when he heard a voice.
Where are you going, Keshav?
Did I not tell you I am a stupid man? I should be glad for what I have received, but I don't want to fool anyone.
You are a great man. You shall have your heart's desire.
Thank you, kind fairy.
The fairy touched Keshav again. So Keshav became once more a grass cutter, living happily in his hut for the rest of his days. And though he often thought warmly of his friends, the king and the queen, he was careful never to send them another gift. Moral: when you give without expectation, God takes care of all your needs and fills you with unexpected happiness.